My name's Marcus, and this is going to be following on from our last tutorial, which was setting up a mod folder and making and getting it ready to sort of welcome its custom stuff. Now, the first tutorial we're going to be talking about is textures. We're going to have a look at loading up some textures in Doom. We're going to have a look at specular maps. We're going to have a look at bump maps and successfully playing around with them. Then we're going to write a material file and we'll see how it goes. First, what I like to do is go straight into Photoshop. Okay. When it's done, first of all, I'm going to load up a file called Metal1. Now, the editor only picks up textures that are in the correct pixel ratio, and this one isn't. It's basically to the power of 2, and so 64, 128, 256, 340, 480, 512, the usual kind of computery resolution you usually find. And this is not it, so you're going to see. So I'm going to have some problems if I bring this in. So I'm going to switch constraint properties off so I can stretch and shrink it, and the nearest one to this is 340. I'm just rounding these up, and 256. Okay, slight stretch, but that's okay. Now, I save as. The editor uses TGA Targa files. That's what Doom uses as its graphical files. And Targa were they were invented by a company named True Vision, I think, and they can have an alpha layer for transparency, which is all good, but we won't be playing around with that. And this texture is going to be D. Now, D means diffusal, which basically means it's what's going to be projected onto your walls in the game. I'm going to save that, so it's metal1 underscore D. There we go. Close that down. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to close that down. Now, I'm going to have to make the editor image, okay? Because why we have to do this is simple. It doesn't come with a preview image and we have to make it. So I'm going to switch constraint properties back on and shrink it down by 50%. Okay. I'll save as. And the editor image is just ed instead of D. Save. Okay. Now I'm going to load up the diffusal map again, and this is going to be used for our specular. Now I'm going to go to image mode and grayscale. Okay. And then the best thing I find, the most accurate way, is to adjust by curves. Okay. And it's all playing around really with this, and okay, that looks fantastic. That's what the kind of thing we're after: blacks and whites and greys. Okay, okay, that. And I'm gonna quickly. You could make more changes. You could dull the white so it's less shiny. And I'm just gonna save this file. Save as. And the specular is just S. Okay, metal1 underscore S. Save. Okay, close that down. Now I'm gonna work on the next texture, metal2. Okay, image size 512. That's fine. File save as. This is the diffuse map, so D. Save. Save as. Targa D for diffusal. Okay. Shrink this image down because it's quite a fair sized image, and the only reason why we shrink it down is is to save on memory. Save on memory size. I'm going to shrink it down to 25% because it doesn't need to be big because it's just a preview. Save as metal2 underscore ed. Save. Okay. And I'm going to make the bump map. Before we do that, I'm going to show you this is a little example I've made. A key. Not all text bump maps are made like this, but it's it's a good example. The middle square is your sort of like flat, your sort of baseline, and you get your highs and lows off this, and it's just a nice example of the colour spectrum that's used in the bumps, and I'm going to be using that in a minute, and it's included in the zip. And I'm going to go to diffusal because it's not stretched, and what I'm going to do is in layers I'm going to create a new layer, bring the opacity down a little bit, select the base colour and flatten. Okay, then I'm going to create a new layer. Okay, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one first. Okay, and then I'm going to pick this colour, stick that down, then I'm going to draw another one out, another selection, and I'm going to select the next colour, which is going to be that purple there. You could open these up and make things brighter and darker if you like. And then what I'm going to do is select the main base, and I'm going to do that, make it a tad brighter. Okay, and select in between and use the fill. Okay, now it's going to save time if I just keep duplicating this. Okay, and just might bring the opacity down a tad so I can see where I am. That's fine. Next one. I'm just quickly going to do this. So I was just wondering if I actually copied that then. That's fine. Next one. There's not that many tutorials out there about how to make specular maps and bump maps, at least make a bump map properly. And so this should be good for those texture artists that want to know how to do it, and I haven't had much luck. Okay, that's fine. You could do the sort of rivet pits, but I'm not going to do that. What I could do quickly, I'll just do a couple, and I'll show you what would be best to do. And I'm going to go for a dark colour and bring down my brush size, and you just fill that in really like that. Simple as that, and you should get a nice groove effect. What you do is you could just do that for one side, and so on, like that. But anyway, that's enough. I want to keep this down a little bit. I'm just going to merge all these bars down and switch the opacity back to full on this. See, you can see it's already looking like a dent, and merge that down. Okay, now that's fine. I'm going to Control and E merges down, and you can flatten image as well to do that. I'm going to save this as, and your bump is local. Simple as that. Save. Okay. Close that down. Right. Go into your mod folder. Program files. Doing 3. Best damn mod. Okay. Now I've been working out my textures out of a folder, and it's good to keep them. Have a folder with your textures in the mod separate, so you can apply those textures to a 3D model before you bring them in. Close that down. And we're going to make some material files. But first, make a folder, call it textures. Put that in there. Create another folder, call this materials. We need to make some material files. Go into Notepad. Now the first line is where it's going to be in the editor media list. So we want it in the textures section. Forward slash. And it's going to be your mod name. Best damn mod. And we've only called that, so all your textures will be in a folder called Best Damn Mod, and you'll be able to keep everything separate from Doom 3, like all your royalty-free stuff. And we've created a folder called Metals, so it's going to be in Metals. That's where the group this stuff's going to be in. And this is just the label name. It doesn't have to be the texture name, but we're going to call it Metals. No, we'll just keep it as Metal. Okay. Now we're going to open up the script space. Now the first file that points to one of these is going to be the editor. So QER underscore editor image. Tab that on a bit, and I'm going to copy this because it points to where we are. And the editor image is one underscore ed.tga. The next image is the diffuse. So diffuse map, tap that on, and the diffuse is just D. Now this one had the specular, so it's just specular map. I'm just going to copy that quick. Copy, paste, and it's just S for specular. And then what we're going to do is close this part of the script up, and then we're going to add in our next texture, and I'm just going to copy that and paste. And this is going to be metal 2. I'm just going to change these to 2 because these are metal 2. And this one isn't a specular. We need to get rid of this and call it bump. Okay, and we get rid of S and call it local because there's our local. And then that's finished. Now to save it as a material file, save as. Now I save as type and go to all files. And I'll save this as metals.ntr. Save. And you save that in the materials folder you've just made. And there it is, metals.ntr file, which is great. Now we need to put these in a PK4 file. So marquee select, add to archive. People that went through my last tutorial will know how to do this. Zip, best compression method. And because our pack 20 is there, our next pack file is going to be, oh you beat me to it, it's going to be pack 021. And we're going to get rid of the zip extension, put PK4. Okay that. There it is, now we can delete this. And we're going to go into the editor. Okay, back, load up Doom 3 and we'll see what we can see. I hope this tutorial about specular and bump really does help, and because before I think about doing a tutorial I always sort of search the web for a tutorial first and see how they did it, and I've not really found much on it. So always load up your mod before you start playing around with custom contents. Okay. I'm going to go into the editor. Time is of the essence here, and there's the inspector's window. Okay. Now if I go into entity, media, textures, there it is, best damn mod, and all your textures will be stored in there so you can keep everything nice and separate. File, I'm going to load up the junk, and I know I've applied this to it. Now look at that. If I just zoom in to this wall and select that lamp and move this, God, it's like there's a specular map on it, but look at see the bars in between. they really look 3D. You can see the shadow changing. So our bump map's working. How about our specular map? That's look at that, nice and shiny, lovely jubbly. Okay, just gonna file and save. Run a quick BSB. F2. Map junk. Okay, we've got our lovely little bump. Look at that, that's lovely from far away. And check out the specular. See, oh look at that, lovely shine. Lovely jubbly. Yeah, so like I said, I hope that's helped. The next tutorial should be even better, and I hope to see you there.